YouTube. This is your host, King Gio. Yesterday, I know I was supposed to do a live, and I didn't do it because I was so busy last night at work. I'm up training. I'm still training, which I did pass my training. So now it's another sort of training, but with no test at all. And I just passed by the skin of my teeth. I had to get an 84, and I got an 88. But anyway, we'll talk about that later on. But yesterday, I was watching a show called Flight Attendant with Kelly Kuko. And that's about, that's the girl from The Big Bang Theory. That's about, this is the second season. That's about a flight attendant who's an alcoholic. Wakes up in the first season, wakes up in bed with one of the passengers that she slept with, and they wanted to pin the murder on her. Anyway, but she's an alcoholic. So in season 2, they showed her that she's recovering from alcohol, but she never did recover because she kept falling off. She kept relapsing, right? And in one moment of the series, she went over to her dad's grave, thanked him for life, but said one important thing. And she drank because she wanted to feel good. She drank because she wanted to make him feel happy. She taught him how to drink. He taught her how to drink. But at the end, at the end of the letter that she wrote to her father, she says, "I don't want to be like you." And that resonated. And it resonated in a way that when I had my own alcohol problems, I was like, I'm following my father's footsteps. I'm doing what my father was, because my father was an alcoholic. And he stopped before he died. He stopped for 25 years. My father, since I've known my father, he's always drank since he woke up to the day he fell asleep. And I'm not going to attribute my alcoholism, or when I was an alcoholic, to him, because I chose to drink. All right? He didn't put nothing in my head. I chose to drink. When I left my home, I was the one that went to the store. I was the one that went to buy the beer. In Puerto Rico, I bought the liquor because I didn't drink beer in Puerto Rico. It was mostly hard liquor because beer was too expensive and liquor was cheaper. But my point here is that when I decided to stop, that's when I said, I don't want to be like him. Even though he stopped drinking, and that's when I asked him for advice. And I said, how long have you quit? He told me 25 years. He goes, why you asked me? And I said, because I'm thinking of doing it. He goes, well, all the advice I can give you is do it one day at a time. That's it. Do it one day at a time. And I realized, as she's doing this, and she's telling the people that she cared about the most how she relapsed, and she's expected waves of criticism and how could you, and what did you? I realized that's when people fail. When your loved one or your friend gets that relapse, you don't say, well, what did you, man? What happened? You were doing so good. No. You flip the script and say, don't worry about it, man. I'm here for you. It happens. I don't like using the word relapse. I don't believe in relapse. A lot of psychiatrists put that in your head, and when you do that, that's like a soft pillow for you to fall on, and then you could relapse and say, you know what? The psychiatrist said it's okay for me to relapse because it's okay for me to relapse. I can get back up, and it's not, because you know how hard it is to get back up after you put so much effort. I'm 8 years sober, and I will never touch a drink again because I know that if I did, even if I wanted to, let's say if I wanted to have one drink, and I say, well, you know what, this drink is not going to do anything to me. No, that drink is going to do something to me. And I'm going to go from one drink, I get to 2 drinks, I get to 3. And then from there on, that little spark that I had in my head, that I've turned off for 8 years, is going to spark back up. And I've come too far for me to throw away 8 years. And believe me, there are things that have happened in my life since I've stopped drinking that it would put anyone to drink again. But I have it in me. I instilled it in me that no matter what happens, I'm not going to pick up. My youngest brother passed away in November. And I did, and I'm not gonna lie to you, something said I don't have a drink. But at the minute that that thought went into my head, it came back out of my head just as quick. Because I said to myself, nothing I can control, nothing I can do. He's gone. And I'm not going to lose my sobriety over this, you know. And there could be many things that could happen to me. But I still wouldn't pick up again. And why? Because this is where people fail. This is why I take out the relapse part. Because people say, when a psychiatrist tells you relapse is okay, you can do it, you can fall 1,000 times, and as long as you wake up 1,000 times, you get up 1,000 times, that's okay. No, because you're falling, you say to yourself, well, I'm 2 months sober, something happens, you go pick up. And that's where but you say to yourself, my doctor said I can relapse. And that's where you have to acknowledge that itching for that hit or that itching for that drink only lasts for a few seconds. You're acting on an emotion because that's all you know how to do is drink. That's all you know how to do is shoot up or use. That's all you know how to do. So of course, at any given moment that you see that there's trouble, instead of confronting the trouble, or you see the trouble's coming and you know you can avoid it, sometimes you choose not to. And that's when it happens. And then you give yourself that thought of, I gotta drink this. This is too heavy. No. My mother, and I'm sorry to say this, my mother can pass away and I will not drink. Because I know that like I said, you've worked so hard. This is an achievement for me, something that I feel proud of myself. And I don't want to go back to drinking and say, damn, I did 9 years or 10 years or 20 years and I threw it all away. No. You know, the way I see it, I did my 25 years of drinking. I had my 2 beautiful daughters because of it. And it's true, because had I not been drinking, I would have never been to the places that I went to. And that was never my style. Never. But under the alcohol, you know, I would have never met my wife. I would have never gone to where she lived at in Puerto Rico. But the way I see it, I did my 25 years of drinking. There is no need for me to do another 25 or to me to do another 30. For what? To go back to pawning everything, selling everything, and then I'm back in square one just because I wanted to drink. You know, so that's when the window of opportunity confronts you, when you have that window of opportunity, which is for sobriety, which could be in the morning when you wake up or something like that, go to detox, go to rehab, go and seek help, and do it day by day. And I guarantee you, and if you have to go to meetings, go to meetings. Stay away from people, places, and things. You have to, the key to get rid of addiction, is you have to reset your mind. You have to, the ways of you thinking before has to change. I woke up, I'm not lying to you. Anyone who knows me in Puerto Rico, anyone who knows me in New York, knows that I woke up with a liter this big, not lying to you, of Bacardi. And I always make sure that I had about this much so I can wake up. Because I woke up shaking, guys. At one given time because I stopped cold turkey, I had 2 seizures. And I was hearing a voice. Voices, I'm literally talking voices. To me, they were my friends. And at that moment, they were worms, right? Worms talking to me. And I know it's my conscience, and it's telling me, why do you drink? Why are you always drinking? You should stop doing that. And then they stop, leave me alone. Blah, blah, blah. And then it came down to the point that one day the worm said, I'm hungry. And I said, what you want? He said, eggs. And I can't give you no eggs. When I want to find eggs? He said, so find us some money for me to get eggs. So I rounded up $2.25, and he said, put it underneath the tree. And I put it underneath the tree thinking that those were the worms going to be at. And they looking at me like, oh, crazy. I remember that. You know, those are the kind of things that was happening to me. I used to wake up and I used to get the shakes. I was like this. You know, and in my mind, I was saying to myself, the only way that I can survive is by drinking. The only way that I can talk to girls by drinking. The only way I can feel good about myself is drinking. Because drinking has become a part of me. Drinking has become a part of me. You know, and that's the only thing I know to do. I work, but I never stumbled. I never did this, but I always worked. But alcohol had to be part of that nucleus that I had. It had to be part of that. And what I did, I've gone to rehab. It worked. Was all rehab works, but it didn't work for me because I didn't put in the effort. I didn't put in the effort to wanting to stop. If you're going, I'm gonna tell you the truth. If you're going to stop because you want to stop because of your mom, you want to stop because of your dad, you want to stop because of your daughter, don't do that. Because if you do fail, you're only gonna fail them, and you're gonna feel more bad. You're gonna feel worse for yourself that you have disappointed them. Do it for you. Make yourself feel proud of you. Do it for you. Because once you succeed, they're gonna feel proud of you. Okay? They're gonna say, Dad, I'm so happy for you to stop drinking. Baby, I'm so happy. Your mom or your dad is gonna come and hug you. Baby, I'm so proud of you to stop drinking. That's the way it is. Or stop using. People say that once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. Once a drug addict, once a drug addict. No, my brother died because my brother died was 41 years old. Because my brother never took the time to be with himself. My brother was arrested. My brother did good 6 years in prison. And he didn't take that time in prison to say, you know what, I have an addiction. Let me take care of my addiction here. My brother came out of prison, all he did was use. So you could tell that that's what he was thinking about all the time that he was in prison. So he never, unfortunately, he never got the tools. I tried to teach him. I tried to put him in program. He chose not to. And he died in a program. God would bless him. So it's hard. It really is hard. But it's doable. It's doable. If you wake up in the morning wanting to shoot up, take yourself to the hospital. Take yourself to detox and say enough is enough. Oh, I go to detox once I get a shot. No, don't do that because you're never going to get the detox. You know how happy and how great you're going to feel that first day of sobriety, that first day of being free from the drug? Yeah, you're going to feel down because that's all you've known. If you've always walked on your knees, right, and you're always crawling, and then all of a sudden you get up and you start walking, it's gonna feel weird for you because all you have known is that you crawled. Same thing with alcohol, same thing with drugs. When you get off that alcohol and drug for the first time, it's gonna feel weird because wow, I didn't feel like some of your senses are gonna come back. You're gonna feel so much different than you were before. And you're like, wow, look what I missed. But don't think about look what I missed. Think about, all right, I did what I did. Now it's time for me to live. It's time for me to get out there and show me, not the world, show me that I can. Show me that I can. I'm not a good believer, and I'm sorry to say that those people like my brother who did heroin and then he stopped doing heroin, he went to methadone. I don't believe in methadone. I really don't. You're going from one drug to another. Who knows? Put it this way, who's to say methadone works? Because they're telling you that it works. See, the mind is a tricky thing. It's a very powerful tool. I saw a program one time where they wanted to do mind tag. And they told these people that if they put, the doctor said, I want to put a mesh on your tongue. And that's going to prevent you from eating so much and you're going to lose weight. So they did that. 2 lost weight, the other one didn't. That was just 3. What happened? It was just a mess. It didn't do anything. It's just the thought that the doctor put in their mind that this is going to make you lose weight. They already thought that. So I put this in my mouth. I'm not going to get hungry. So they already programmed their brain. Same thing with alcohol. We programmed our brains to drink. Now we have to take that program and turn it the other way around. And so it can benefit you. So when you wake up in the morning, you go to rehab. You go to detox. You do it day by day. Take it day by day so you can do. If you have that sensation that you want to take a hit, you call somebody. Put a gum in your mouth. Do something, because at that moment, that urge is going to only last you a few seconds, maybe a minute or so. And you have to find a way to occupy that time. You have to. You know, we have all these rehab centers, we have all these detox centers, and yet we don't take it to our advantage. You know, we have to stop making excuses that alcohol and drugs is a disease. No, it's not a disease. It's a choice. Now, when it comes to status like my brother, now that becomes somewhat of a disease, because you just can't stop. You're 10 years sober, you're 10 years in prison, and the first thing you do is hit alcohol, hit alcohol or hit drugs. I mean, you got problems. But it's still a choice. At the end of the day, even if you call it a disease, to me, it's a choice. And when you choose to, you know what, I'm going to take methadone, I'm going to do heroin, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, what's going to happen? Then you're going to live on methadone because you don't want to take it. But you're substituting one drug for another. That's all you're doing. You're substituting one drug for another. That's it. And then they lower your dose, and then you stay at 20. Let's say you go on 100, and from 100 you lower yourself down, and you get to 25, and you stay for 25 for the rest of your life. You're still an addict because you're depending on something to keep you away from something, and that even methadone messes with you, kills your teeth, kills everything. It says a lot of things. But that's what, you know, I was given the choice of getting some medications because it came out and it's approved by the FDA. That helps you to stop drinking. Like I said, you can stop drinking. You can even drink with it if you want to, but it'll still help you drink it. It'll still help you to stop drinking. I'm like, why would I want something that I can still drink with? You know. So when she said that, I'm not going to be you, or I don't want to be you, that's very important. Because you don't want to become your father, your mother, someone that drank. You want to be free. You want to be free from alcohol, and you want to be free from drugs. And it can happen. It really can. And is it hard? Yes, it is. I can tell you it's hard because I've been in those shoes. You know how many times I stopped drinking? And I've lasted 10 months, which is the longest I've ever lasted until now. And then on the 10th month, for some odd reason, for some peculiar, mysterious reason, I start drinking again. I'm dead ass. The 3 times that I stopped drinking, I continued. My last time that I stopped drinking was twice. Was when I went on a cruise. I was 10 months in, I went on a cruise, and my first taste of alcohol was in St. Kitts. I bought this Jamaican rum. It was horrible. And then when I went to St. John's, that was the last stop of the cruise, I bought myself a Budweiser. It was $1. And I drank it, and I felt so good. It's like, oh, man. And that's when I started. I was on my 10th month. Then I stopped. Then I was 10 months again. And that time I went to see my daughter in Florida. We met for the first time in 16 years. I was with my friends. My friend bought pizzas. They bought 2 jars of beer. And they were like, gee, I forgot it. You're not drinking. Don't worry about it. Don't bother me. And then I didn't want to, but I was like, yeah, you know what? I want to take care because I wanted to see my daughter, and I was so nervous. But that doesn't give it an excuse. I'm not giving that an excuse. But that's what I thought. That's what I gave myself. I'm nervous. I don't know how I'm going to see my daughter. Actually, the last time I saw my daughter was when she was 2, and now she's 18. And then I drank that day, and I kept on drinking for the whole entire year. And then in 2013, I told my wife I'm going to quit. You can do it, baby. Then I said, money. The only thing that I'm scared of is once I reach that 10th month. So when I said I'm reaching, I keep drinking that 10th month. And then I said, if I can get past that 10th month, I'm not drinking no more. And that 10th month came. When the 10th month came, I was petrified. But once that 10th month came and left, once it left, I got on my knees and said, thank you, Lord. And I haven't drank ever since. Because I put up in here that I'm not going to drink. I had my time. I did what I thought I wanted to do. You know? I enjoyed myself. I met a lot of great people through my journey of alcoholism. I met a lot of bad people. And I stayed away from those. So I don't hang out with bad people. My circle of friends is very small. It's getting even smaller now. But I was a loner. I drank alone because I don't want no one to mess my buzz. I didn't want to go to a bar and people have trouble. No. I avoid that. So I would buy my 6-pack, take it to the home when I was living in New York, and when I was in Puerto Rico, I started with a small case. A small bottle of Bacardi. It was $2.50. And then when I had the money, I would buy these big Bacardi that were like $9.99, and that would last me the whole day. But I was zip here, zip there, until I got to this much. And I did that, guys, drinking that much alcohol for at least 6 years straight, non-stop, every day. Driving here and there, which was bad. Taking care of my daughter, because I took care of my daughter alone. You know, and when I saw that on flight attendant, I was like, it was true, because I did that too. I didn't want to be like my father. You know, and she's trying, the girl is trying, and I can see her struggle. You know, and for some people, admitting that they have a problem is hard. For some people, stopping is hard, because that's all you know how to do. How do you get away from something that's all you know how to do? It's like taking a farmer, taking his farm away. What is the farmer going to do? He's never done anything but farm. What is he going or she's going to do? You know? So we have to think to ourselves, one, you have to admit that you're an alcoholic or a user. And number two, seek help. Seek help. When you wake up in the morning, tell your mom or your dad, or your husband, your wife, whatever, take me to detox. Take me to detox. I want to stop. I want to stop. You don't want to look at yourself. You don't want to be around and begging for money. You don't want to be the one in the street that they have to call the ambulance and give you Narcan. And even some people who have gotten Narcan continue doing the same thing. It's because that's all they know. But at that given moment, if you look at that person when you give them Narcan and you put that person in the hospital and you put them on detox, some people will come out of it okay. Not all, but some. But the desire, especially guys and women, if you really, really want to stop alcohol, if you really, really want to stop using, you're going to have to want it. You're going to have to say to yourself, I want this. Not for my mom, not for my dad. I want this. I want to be sober. I want to be clean. I am tired of waking up vomiting. I am tired of stealing. I am tired of disappointing my family. I am tired of disappointing me. I wasn't born drunk. I wasn't born a drunk. I wasn't born an addict. But I am now. Don't let those naysayers that says, once an addict, always addict. No, don't do that. Don't believe that. Don't believe those people who's going to say, how are you going to stay the same way? No, don't believe that. Believe in yourself. Say to yourself, this is what I want. I want to be free. I want to break these chains, these demonic chains that I have on me, and stop using and stop drinking. And once you take that first step, once you admit that, you already have victory. You started with victory. And that's the important part. And then you go the following day, this is the way I did it. The following day, I woke up, today I'm not drinking. I told my wife, I would tell her, I don't know about tomorrow, because tomorrow has its own days. But for today, I'm not drinking. And I did that for a whole entire year. And that's what kept me, because I kept reminding myself. And now, mind you guys, I'm a food and beverage manager. Well, I was at that time. And I deal with alcohol. I poured alcohol. And never in these 8 years of me being sober have I ever had a thought of drinking. I open up the beer, I pour it, look. I do rum and coke, I do a Cuba Libre, I do a Bloody Mary, I do all those. And when you stop drinking, your senses come back. And you can smell the alcohol. You can smell the beer. But alcohol tastes bad. You can smell it. And I don't get no desire. Because here, I have made up my mind that it's over. I'm not going back. I refuse to go back. That's a refusal. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I refuse to go back. And that's the thing. You're gonna have to want it. You say to yourself, Mom, take me to rehab. Or you can go to any rehab and put yourself in. Get rid of all those people who use with you. If you can bring some of those people with you, amen. But once you are clean, you gotta stay away from people, places, and things, because when you're clean, see, for me, alcohol is easy to get because it's legal. No, I can go to any store, any bodega in New York, and get it for 50 cents, get it for $1. As to an addict has to get $10 for a bag, or $20 for a bag, whatever the cost is. I don't have to go that high. And like I said, and it's legal. But it becomes harder for an addict. But just because it becomes harder for an addict to attain, that doesn't mean you can't attain it. So what you do is you stay away from people, places, and things. When you say, hey man, look at this guy, he stopped using, he thinks he's better than me. No, it's not that I'm better than you. I'm never better than you. It's that I just don't want to go back to where I was. You trust me when I tell you, you're going to feel so much better within yourself. You're going to feel so good knowing that you stopped. The things that you'll be able to do. If you never had a job or you had a job, now you'll be able to maintain a job. Never pay bills. Now you'll be able to pay bills. Now you'll be able to have money in your pocket because, wow, you can save up money. Now you can have money. You don't have to waste it on alcohol. Your kids don't have to smell the alcohol on you, but the kids don't have to see you with a needle in your hand. You don't. Addiction is a choice. Just the same way we chose to drink and use, it's the same choice that you got to say enough is enough. Those family members out there that belittle your family members and you tell them, oh, you know them about an addict, don't do that. Oh, you know them about an alcoholic, don't do that. Because all you're doing is you're ingraining in their brain that that's all they are. That's all you're doing. Now, if you give them support and say, listen, man, if you want to go to a rehab, I'll take you. I'll be there with you, man. You don't have to do this alone. No, I'm okay. You sure? All right. Next week, yo, I found a club, rehab club. Let that person know that you're there instead of belittling that person because that person uses. A lot of people do that. And most people, when they do that, they don't want to go to a rehab. They say, this is all I know. My mom said I'm an addict. My mom said I'm a thief. My mom said I'm a nobody. I'm out to be nobody. You are clouding their judgment. You're letting them. They won't be able to think correctly because that's all you embedded it into their mind that they're no good. Guys, if you want help, go for it. Go do it. Go to rehab. I mean, if you don't like rehab, I did it. I did it cold turkey. But for my reasons of not going to AA, that's personal. But if you need to go to AA, go to AA. Get a sponsor. If you need to go to NA, get it. Because you need the tools. You need the tools to survive. Because people out here, when they know that you're not hitting up, those same people that will hit you, were hitting with you, or were drinking with you, are the same people who are like, yo, what's up? Come on, you want a beer? You want this? Some of the people just don't care. Misery loves company. And that's the honest to God truth. Gotta take all those people that you were hanging out with, all those places that you want to use, and get away from it. You need to go to another state and start anew. But you can stay in the same place where you are, but you got to change this mentality. This is the thing that has to change. Your thought. And how do you change that thought? By saying, I want to change. I no longer want to use. I no longer want to use. That's how you change it. That's how you change the mentality. And before you know it, you have one day. That one day will turn to 2 months. 2 months turn to 3 months. 3 months turn to 6 months. And 6 months. And then the next thing you know, you got years. Years under your belt. And then you're going to say to yourself, wow, I remember when I drank and I did this. Or someone's going to tell you, hey, King Gio, do you remember when you did this? When you were doing like, no, I don't remember. But really, they do that? Or someone recorded you, because everybody, today's day and age, everybody has a phone with a camera. They recorded you. You're like, that was me? Yeah, that was you. That was you. So I implore you to look within yourself and say, I want to stop. I can't stop. I need to stop. Because I'm getting rid of the old King Gio. And the new King Gio is going to come up. Or whatever your name is. That's the way you do it. And the most important thing is you take it day by day. Don't think about what happened yesterday. Don't think about tomorrow I gotta go to court, or tomorrow I gotta meet my wife's wife, or tomorrow I gotta do this. Don't think about that. Tomorrow takes care of itself. Tomorrow has its own problem. Think about today. That today you're not going to drink. You're not going to pick up. And if you do that every day, and you embed that in your head every day, trust me, you will stop using or drinking. You will. Because you have to reprogram your mind all over again. You have to reboot. Go back to point. You have to reboot and go to the point where everything is screwed up. Start from there or start afresh. But that's what you have to do. You have to want the desire. Because, a lot of people say, oh, I'll do it, when I feel that I'm ready. And that's never going to happen. I'll go to church when I think that's never going to happen. While you have that opportunity, you wake up in the morning, go to that rehab, go to that detox. I want help. They're not going to turn you down. They may not have beds. You can ask them, can you refer to me to a place where I have beds? If you have Medicaid, call your Medicaid in the back of the car and say, listen, I need rehab. I need a rehab center. I need to go now. And they will tell you where. And they will tell you where. We had to stop for the cop, but he didn't pass by us. He's like, no. So you have to want his eye in. And if you need any help whatsoever, I mean whatsoever, you need someone to talk to, you need someone to vent to. If you have that urge, if you have that moment that you want to use, yo, let me know. Hit me up to my YouTube. I'll give you my personal number, and you can call me. And we'll talk until that thing goes away. Because I've been there, so I know how it feels. If you need the support, if your family don't want you to give you support, if your friends don't want to give you support, King Gio will give you support.